Hello all, welcome back to session 4. We will discuss about modern perspectives of psychology, that is the psychodynamic perspective. Learning objectives. What are the basic ideas of psychodynamic perspective? Secondly, who are the important people behind this approach? Session outcome: understanding the modern version of the psychoanalysis. Secondly, understanding the development of self. Thirdly, understanding the motivation behind each person's behavior. The psychodynamic perspective. Freud's theory is still with us today in use by many professionals in therapy situations. It is far less common today than it was a few decades ago. However, and even those who use these techniques modify them for modern use. In the more modern psychodynamic perspective, the focus is still on the unconscious mind and its influence over conscious behavior and on early childhood experiences, but with less of an emphasis on sex and sexual motivations and more emphasis on the development of a sense of self and the discovery of other motivations behind a person's behavior. The origin of the psychodynamic view are linked to Sigmund Freud. Freud was an Austrian physician in the early 1900s. He was of the view that unconscious mind is the determinant of all our behavior. The psychologists who supported the psychodynamic view are of the opinion that all our behavior is motivated by the unconscious mind. It emphasizes that the unconscious mind has its influence over the conscious behavior and on early childhood experiences. The psychodynamic perspective emphasizes less on sex and sexual motivations. It emphasizes more on the development of a sense of self, social and interpersonal relationships. Freud had a number of followers who took his original ideas and modified them to their own perspectives. Their students modified those theories. Until today, there is a kind of neo-Freudianism. Therapists often speak of Freudian complexes and use much of his terminology in their work with clients. Part of the reason that Freudian concepts are so enduring is the lack of any way to scientifically test them and therefore show them to be either useful or useless. The psychodynamic perspective tries to analyze the motivations behind a person's behavior. They view dreams and slips of the tongue to be the true feelings hidden in the unconscious psychic activity. Although some of the original Freudian principles have been roundly criticized, the contemporary psychodynamic perspective has provided a means not only to understand and treat some kinds of psychological disorders, but also to understand everyday phenomena such as prejudice and aggression.